This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
You know, for a long time, I've carried a pet peeve along with me throughout my life. Having been in the United States Marine Corps and having raised my right hand and swore to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, it always bothered me, and it still bothers me, that so many servicemen and women don't have any fundamental understanding of that document. I've contended that how can you raise your hand and swear or affirm an oath to support a document that you don't know what's it about? You have no idea what's in it. You don't know what it represents. You don't know what rights that it guarantees, that it protects for you. And apparently those lessons that are not being given should be extended up to and including the general officer ranks. Because Michael Flynn, conspiracy theorist du jour, fascist enabler Michael Flynn, former disgraced national security advisor for Donald Trump, took to the stage at a campaign event for Langford in Oklahoma and said some radically incorrect things about the Constitution. And I don't mean radically incorrect in the way that it's a different interpretation of the Constitution. I mean just wrong. Talking about how our Creator is mentioned so many times in the Constitution. And one could contend, I'm going to play the clip here, but one could contend, I guess, that what he meant was the Declaration of Independence, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by our Creator with inalienable rights. You know, the Thomas Jefferson, the man who owned dozens, if not hundreds of slaves, writing about all men being created equal. Laughable. But he goes on to talk about the Bill of Rights, which is not to be confused with the Declaration of Independence. Watch this remarkable, insane clip while you think about that thing, about the fact that so many who wave their little pocket constitutions, so many who think they have a stranglehold grasp on the contents of that document, have no idea what it's about. Watch this.
You read all these things, you study the history of this country, you study how it was founded. That's why the word creator is in the Constitution 4 times. Right? We are endowed by our Creator. The Bill of Rights. When you look at the Bill of Rights, I want you, next time you look at the Bill of Rights, in fact, tonight when you go home, look at the Bill of Rights and lay the 10 Commandments right down next to them. Okay? Put them right next to each other. And you'll get a sense of how they developed the Bill of Rights.
Harebrained and wrong. The word God, the word Creator, is mentioned not 4 times in our Constitution. 0. Not even 1 time is God or Creator mentioned. And I guess he's talking about the fact that there's 10 commandments and 10 articles in the Bill of Rights. Maybe that's the connection he's drawing. But let's do that. Let's lay the 10 Commandments and the Bill of Rights next to one another. The first 3 of the commandments have to do with God. I am the Lord your God. You shall have no other gods before me. Not a constitutional tenet. Number 2, you shall not take the name of the Lord in vain. The name of the Lord your God in vain. Not constitutional. Remember to keep holy the Lord's day, the Sabbath. Obviously not constitutional. So 3 of the 10 here, we're sitting at 30% of the 10 commandments, have edicts from God to man about himself, about itself, God. Not constitutional. Honor your mother and father, clearly not a constitutional edict. Not a requirement of life under the rule of law. You shall not kill. Here we go. Finally, number 5 has something to do with law that could be considered constitutional. Number 6, you shall not commit adultery. Come on. You shall not steal. Okay. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Sometimes. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. Not constitutional. You can covet anything you want. This is a capitalistic society. There's a lot of coveting going on. And you shall not covet your neighbor's goods. Refer to the sentence I just spoke. Now, let's take a look at the Venerable Bill of Rights. The First Amendment being freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, the freedom to assemble, the freedom to redress your government, the freedom from the government imposing some religion, any religion, a state-sponsored religion. Article 2, of course, the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms. And then here is the biggie that, the Ten Commandments really, this is where they were going with it. You shall not be required to quarter soldiers in your house. The Ten Commandments really rolling there. The Fourth Amendment, your right against illegal search and seizure. The Fifth Amendment, your right to remain silent, and other edicts about courts. The Sixth Amendment, that you shall enjoy a speedy trial. The Seventh Amendment, the right to trial, a jury trial. The Eighth Amendment, cruel and unusual punishment. The Ninth Amendment, that no other right that someone has can be used to violate your rights. And then the 10th Amendment, that any right that the federal government does not specifically have, or the states, any right that the Constitution doesn't specifically grant to the federal government or specifically not grant to the states is for the states. So where, pray tell, pray being the operative word here, Michael Flynn, is God in our Constitution? If we were to lay, like we just did, the Ten Commandments down next to the Bill of Rights, how am I getting a flavor for how they went about doing it? Egregiously stupid. Propaganda and lies. And this crowd will lap it up because they believe we are a Christian nation. They believe we are founded by active evangelicals, when that just wasn't the case. Our founders were deist, more than they were theist, certainly. But I don't even know that he would know the distinction between the two, because he's a dummy. Don't be like Michael Flynn. I would encourage you to do this little exercise. Lay the Ten Commandments down next to the Bill of Rights. Get to know your Bill of Rights. Get to know your Constitution, especially if you have taken the oath to support and defend that very same document against all enemies, foreign and domestic, like individuals like Michael Flynn, who said we needed a Myanmar-style coup right here in the United States. He really has a fervent love and passion for the Constitution of the United States when he's advocating for coups against our country. Trump supporters, to be sure. What do you think, though? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Thanks for your time and attention today. I appreciate you very much. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore, just about everywhere. And if I bring you some value, please consider supporting my work. You can become a channel member, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to help me grow this channel and this operation and its influence to change some hearts and minds. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.